everyone. Oh my God, I am so excited to welcome you all to the first ever Dash Sisters podcast.
Welcome to the Dash Sisters podcast. You're here, we're all here. I'm very excited to get started. But I know I'm very hyper aware that you don't really know us, so I think we want to start off with a couple of introductions.
Hi everyone, I'm Gauri. I'm from India. I'm currently in India. I live in Bangalore. I'm from a small town called Madikeri in the southern part of Karnataka. I trained as a lawyer, but through a series of unexpected events, I've stumbled upon the world of brand consulting. So that's what I do now. It sounds very corporate and very weird, but it's like a really nice creative space. I work with words and aesthetics and. That's a pretty vague description of what I do. But okay, yeah. So that's for who I am and where I'm from, etc. Maitli, you go. Tell our listeners who you are. Who are you really, Maitli?
Oh my god, that's so deep. But for those who don't know me, I'm Maithili. I live in Japan. I've been here a little over a decade. I went to boarding school with you. We've known each other forever. South India based when we were there. But right now I work in this field of travel. I'm an experienced designer, which is really fun. We get to craft really curated, personal, like transformative experiences for clients who come to Japan. Yeah, what else? 2025 is coming to an end, which means here in Japan things are getting kind of slow. People are returning home, seeing their families, and it's time for us to kind of get into creative projects, take some time to see what the next year holds for us. So I'm excited to do something new with my old friend.
Okay, no need to say old so many times, huh? I was just about to point out to our listeners that 2025 coming to an end is such a milestone for us because it means that the next year is the beginning of the great 30s.
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
mine is scream in panic and also excitement, I think. At least for me, it's a combination of the two.
Yeah, for me it's felt like a big deal all year, which is why I wanted to like hype up the 2025, the last year of my 20s. I dyed my hair a little bit, went a bit like wild, I think, but it's happening and I think it's kind of a big deal. I know you don't think so, but I know it's true. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I'm very much I think I was born old and I can't get to my real age kind of person. But it also feels like, as cliche as it gets, like end of an era, It's like,
Yeah.
what do we do now? Because until now we had the excuse of saying, I'm still learning, I'm in my 20s. Now it's like,
Um,
nah.
yeah. But now I feel that sense of like responsibility and being accountable for things is like it's there. I'm aware of that more than I've ever been.
And I think
Um,
it's so perfect that this podcast is happening at that cusp, right? There are a lot of people in our age group, a little bit younger, a little bit older, who have sort of crossed this little bridge, little threshold, and so that's what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to have a conversation. But hey, before all of that,
before all
let's
that.
let's talk about our name. What the hell is a dash
Yeah,
sister?
yeah. I mean, people who know us don't even know this angle, this aspect of our lives. So, what is Dash Sisters? I know you have your version and I have mine, and I'm not sure we have the same story. So, let's hear it. Tell me,
Look,
tell me your version of events. What is the
this
Dash
is
Sisters?
the weirdest part for me, okay? Because
Okay.
it's you and I, we're two people. It's not a complicated history. We all started in one place. So I just keep wondering, how do you have a different version of our beginning than the fact, right?
Because our friendship is at least like 500 years old. It happened so long ago. But yeah.
It's only 18 years old, but also it's 18 years old.
Yeah.
But 18 years ago, we went to boarding school. Maitli was already there. I joined boarding school and we were like grade six, which is like 11 years old. And we used to do all of these like really fun, music stuff. I remember there was like in our dormitory, they'd put together this cultural event and Maitli and I were going to sing together. But you can't just sing and be like, hi, I'm Maitli, hi, I'm Gauri, I'm going to sing a song. That's lame. We needed a band name, right? And we were like, oh, we're such good friends. It's like we're sisters. We should be something sisters. And then we like thought and thought and thought about it, and we couldn't come up with the name. So I remember saying, it's such a vivid memory in my brain, right? I remember going, Maitli, let's put a pin in this. For now, let's just call it Dash Sisters, like an underline, a blank, a Dash Sister. And then you went, oh my God, Gauri, that's it, that's our name. We're the Dash Sisters.
Oh my God, that sounds like me. I can imagine it, like Blank Sisters. It works. It's
Yeah,
Dash
you're
Sisters.
like, it's so radical, it's so different, that's what we should be. And
It
that
sounds
was the
cool. I think
beginning.
I get it. Yeah, it sounds cool.
I mean, think about it. 18 years later, we're still happy with what it sounds like. So I think good call. Good call on your behalf. But what is your version of history that didn't happen?
Yeah. So I don't remember that. Wow, shocking. But for me, it's like I have like visual memories. Like we were really about the colors. I remember like tennis rackets being guitars. I was like a dark blue. You were like a dark red. It was like our thing. The colors we're wearing today for those who are watching us online. But yeah, so it was very like visual, musical, and very rock star punk vibe. So I remember that being a big part of that whirlwind of our lives when we were like 12, 11, 12 years old.
What I'm going to do next is for such, like, totally for our visual
Okay.
viewers. But I do have a surprise for you.
Damn. Okay.
It's a throwback of all throwbacks.
Okay.
I present to you a block of wood. Do you
Oh my
recognize this?
goodness. Big time. Of course I recognize this. This
Like,
is really crazy. This is like our iPod.
oh my God.
iPod
And
rocker station for the
we were called iPod Rocker Station. And can I tell you something interesting?
I love it.
We had a vision for a company when we were 11 years old. Read this. It
DS
says,
companies, Scotty. I don't remember this.
it
What?
says DS companies. The content on this, first of all, so interesting, right? First, because we have, it's called International, what is it? International something series, okay? It's a
Uh-huh.
station. And look at the songs that were running at the time. It's like Om Shanti Om, Sunday, Tashan, God to See Great Ho, Thoda
Wow.
Pyar, Thoda Magic, whatever. All these like, songs that were going on. And we have this little section here called download. So you could download from the internet or from your own brain.
Oh, I love that. I mean, yes, you can download music from your mind, and it's gonna happen. We're in that era where these things happen now. So, oh my God.
Absolutely. And it says create your own song and it's as B&H because we thought all English songs were Hollywood because all the Hindi songs we knew were Bollywood. So it
Of
says
course.
B&H for Bollywood or Hollywood. And this is me. It says experience the magic, but I've misspelled experience.
Experience.
So there isn't even an N. It just says experience. Experience the magic within us.
Wow. Within us.
Um,
That sounds so
and
like
then
a
on
thing
the
you would
other
see on TV or something. Experience the
Yeah,
magic.
and on the other side it says, "Open your eyes and look out. The iPod rockers are on their way."
Oh, hey, maybe we were meant to be the iPod rockers. But there's so much of
Maybe.
like rock influence somehow, right? Like we weren't even into metal or anything.
We weren't, yeah, we didn't actually know what rock was, but we just thought that it was a substitute for being cool.
Yeah.
And so we took this like kind of 2x4 piece of wood and made it our iPod. And like it wasn't even like a thing we made and kept aside. Every time we wanted to sing, we'd be like, hey, I want to sing something. And then we'd press create our own song and then we'd go bloop, 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 bloop. And then, actually make up songs.
Yeah.
But I had this, I went home recently and I saw this and I was like, oh my God, this thing survived like almost 20 years. That's insane.
Yeah. Survived the war. Wow, it's amazing. It's crazy.
But,
Big throwback.
folks, welcome to DS Company's Dash Sisters podcast.
It's the real thing, guys. Welcome. Yeah.
Oh my God. But do you wanna start telling our listeners how this podcast started? Because obviously we have a thing for like audio. We're audio
Yes.
people.
Yep.
But why a podcast?
So I do want to kind of point out that we've had a major musical background. We used to like create songs together in school. We used to sing all the time. We went to music classes. It's a big part of our friendship and our stories. But podcasts, the audio, was not something I saw coming at all in our lives. And like 4 days ago, got a message from Gauri. It was like, hey, Maithili, do you want to start a podcast? And then like a whole bunch of other messages. And I'm like, And we've always thought about wanting to do like some kind of project together, and I'm down to always do any kind of cool project with you, especially now as adults when we have like agency and we can actually make things happen more in a more like tangible way than when we were kids. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And here we are 4 days later. Literally, I've bought a mic for the first time in my life, and yeah, we're trying this thing out. We've gone through a whole bunch of like phases and seasons of our lives, so I think it would be nice to have this space to sort of create to talk to everybody a little bit about what this podcast world is all about. But we will get into that a little bit later. But you tell me, how did this podcast start? Where was your origin? Because for me, it was just 4 days ago.
My story begins in 2021 when I was younger and my knees hurt a lot less. So I remember, so it was the time I'd just come back from my master's degree. It was a COVID-stricken world. Nobody was hiring. It had been months. I was like devastated, just afraid, of what the hell future was gonna look like. And then I was like, okay, time to be a content creator, explore maybe some of that because I was already chatting up with friends when I was free and it was all these interesting stories. Everybody was going through the same stuff. At that time I was 25 of like, finding your place in your work and finding your feet in this adult world. And I was like, it's such a great thing because even though we were across fields, across locations, we were all having the same problems. And so I remember thinking, you should do something with this. And then, of course, I got a job soon after, and then you kind of get caught up in the whole whirlwind of life, right? And now it just sort of came back to me because we recently met each other in
Yes,
Japan when I visited you for the
finally came here.
first time in the decade plus that you've been there. And I just remembered how much fun it is to do stuff with you. And I was
Yeah.
like, we should do the podcast. So for me, that's where that came from. It was a love of doing something with your friend and then talking to your other friends.
Yeah, and I love this idea of like a long distance recording studio. Here we have like our recording studio and you can connect with anyone and just talk
Yeah.
about life and what's going on in our worlds and kind of, yeah, it's beautiful. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I will ask though because this is our first episode. I wonder what's your firstest memory of us? Do you because this was like we were kids, barely formed brains 100 million years ago. So what's the first memory you have of us?
You're taking it back to the prehistoric times. First memories are like I have to really like look through my head and like it's hard, but I have iconic memories. I have like
Mm.
first iconic memories. For sure, hands down for me is when we were probably like 12, 13 years old. And I'll give everyone a little bit a sense of space of like where we were when we were that old in our lives. Both Gary and I, we went to boarding school, which is not a really common concept here in Japan, so I'll explain it a little bit. It's where kids will stay away from their parents in school with their friends, with their teachers, and for like an extended period of time, like 8 months a year, we were at this school, and we'd have like 4 months holidays. So that was the balance. So it was great. It was this beautiful space in South India, like 2 hours from any city, and like in a valley. We had butterflies and snakes and bugs, and it was just beautiful. Sunsets every day, bird watching yoga, all kinds of fun things. But anyways,
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking only you would say it's so beautiful it had snakes.
yeah, it was beautiful snakes, guys. Uh, birds and butterflies too. So this is lovely space that we were in just growing up for several years of our lives. This campus was surrounded by fruit trees, and not just any fruit tree, guys. It was surrounded by mango trees, like mango farms. And school was kind of like we had like a boundary, like kids were not really allowed to go outside the school zone. However, young, curious minds cannot be bound in such
That is
ways.
the no, not mine's plural, mind you, not me. I was very happy with the boundary.
Yeah, so one fine day, I was like, Gary, you won't believe what's out there. Outside the zone, there's a field of mangoes, and we must go out. So I was like, I knew like where the thorns were and when the thorns weren't, and like I knew there was like this little gap in this. I hope like school is not like listening to this and having a hard time processing
You're
this.
not you're not gonna get into trouble 20 years after the fact. It's fine.
You don't know. You don't know this, Scotty. Anything could happen. I could have to go. I might have to fly back to school and explain myself. This could happen. But there was like a gap in the thorns, and I'm like, we had like some time before our next class. I'm like, let's go. And then we go into the field, and it's like abundance, guys, abundance. You have never seen such ripe mangoes in your lives, and it's just like surrounded by orange, beautiful, beautiful mangoes. And we're like, and I will never forget what you said at that point. You were like, Nicely, fill your pockets. And then we like lost our mind. We're like laughing and crying, and we don't like know what to do with all this amazingness. And we like take a bunch of like pluck a bunch of mangoes, put them in our pockets, and then run back into school. There's like this huge rush, this incredible like almost storybook moment of us being outside of campus getting these mangoes. It was just like it was amazing. Uh,
And I remember us to like just losing our minds and running in zigzags around the tree because we don't know what to do. How to. You're telling me I can have any mango I want? What?
As many as you want. Have you ever seen December mangoes? Like it was so sweet.
Me, like I was such a like stickler for rules, I was like, no, but we're not allowed to. And then you see this thing, I'm like getting convinced to do this, what I'm seeing as a crime, okay? And then I go out there and I see all this beauty, and I'm like, you guys, I think crime is good, you know? A crime is rewarding as hell. This is amazing. I remember we have like this very like conspicuous as hell looking pants, like just mangoes and mangoes stuffed in every pocket. It was like seventh grade. We were like 12 years old, and they had like sex ed class right after, which was already such an awkward thing for us. This was very new. I didn't know anything about anything at all. But I remember there's this like board, this teacher, psychologist or someone they'd called from Bangalore was teaching us all of this stuff. And I'm getting kind of mind blown over there. But also, I'm like, there's a mango under my desk. So I remember like pretending to drop a pencil and then going, trying to pick it up and then taking a bite out of your mango and coming back going, yeah, yeah. Oh, that is crazy. You're telling me that's what happened inside my body? It was such a like just confusion and also fear and guilt and all of this stuff playing that day. That was a day. That was a
That
day.
was a day to remember for life. Like, oh my God. Exhilaration 101. What's your firstest memory? What is it?
My first memory of us doesn't even include you.
Great. Great.
So our first year together when we were studying together, we lived in the same dormitory. My mother was, sort of getting me set up. She was organizing my clothes in my cupboard. It's the super emotional kind of moment because she's gonna leave you for a bit. It's new for you. She's also afraid she's gonna leave her kid and go. So we're a bit like tense. And then a young gentleman walks up to us. He's a dad. And then he goes, oh, he's saying hi and he's being so lovely. And he's like, my daughter already studies here. Oh, Gauri's in sixth grade. My daughter Maitli's in sixth grade too. And it was your dad, right? And he's being so nice. And we're like, oh, there's such lovely people here. And then he says, I'm going to tell Maitli that Gauri's here and I'm going to tell her to be my friend. So I was like, boom, done, friend, ready.
So my dad set us up. I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I remember thinking like, okay, yeah, I think that's it. No, I'm not gonna be alone. I already have a friend here because I've got this connection, this network, kind of thing. In retrospect, if a parent told a child be friends with this person, the first thing we would do is not be friends with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
You
you
know?
guys telling us what to do? Like, no way.
No way. I make my own friends. But I think over not even years, over a couple of days after, we were just drawn by each other's silliness and each other's creativity and love to do stupid but interesting things and like singing songs and making up skits. And we very, very swiftly became friends after. So that I remember that really vividly, you know.
Sixth grade
Uh,
was such a time. We had like the best classmates and like the right perfect size of people in our classroom and best teachers. We're doing so many fun things, farming and I don't know,
Yeah.
it was
The
great.
whole class was so creative. Like, I remember we made up a periodic table song. We made a skit to explain math problems. We were doing these really offbeat kind of things, and we were being allowed to, which is the crazier part from an adult POV. But
But I do have a question for you, Gadi. We've known each other through seasons of our lives. There have been times where we have spoken a whole bunch and times where we've drifted apart. You know, we've gone through cycles. It's 18 years. My question for you is, can you like draw, I want to know what this looks like visually to you. So if imagine like a imagine this imaginary invisible graph in front of you, and if you were to draw what our friendship looks like, what would it be like? I'm interested in seeing the lines.
do you mean like in terms of intensity, or do you mean like stick figures saying hello, shaking hands? Like, what do you mean? Is it like a timeline?
Okay, I love the stick figure shaking hands idea. That's so cute. But no rules. There's no rules. It can be whatever you want. It's like there's no like X and Y axis and good or bad. But yeah, just whatever you do you. What do you want to visualize our friendship over the years?
You can't ask a question and say there's no answer, but you answer.
I
Okay.
think I have a very funny feeling you know how to do this. So paint away, Gauri. What do you see? What colors?
Okay, I don't know what you need exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna do like phases, I guess, because otherwise it's like 18 years is too much. Sixth is when we met, so 11 years old. I think 11th to 12, 13 was, I'd say, like our most creative years because we're really like finding ground of like who we are, but also who we are together and what we like to do and stuff like that. So maybe just like squiggly kind of lines, you know? Just
Quigley. What color are you seeing?
Oh, I think we were too little to have any one color. It's like rainbow squiggles, just
That should be the name of the podcast. I love it. Rainbow Squiggles.
the whole podcast. You just want to scrap Dash Sisters?
No, no, no. I mean this one episode. This one episode. I think this is
Oh,
it's gold.
yeah, like okay, yeah. Episode 1, rainbow squiggles. It exemplifies the friendship pretty honestly, I think.
And I'm so impressed by this graph you're doing. So let's keep going.
The years immediately after is a bit foggy for me because I think like those are the years I found my hormones. So I wasn't really interested in anything you were doing. I was
It's
just
all
like, oh
about
my
the
god,
toys.
all about the boys at that point. Oh my god, this guy plays such great tennis. Oh my god, he's such a fast runner. Oh my god, captain of the cricket team. Weird butterflies in your stomach and stuff like that. So I think that went on for maybe a year or 2 years until,
This is like the eighth grade, right? Eighth-ish.
yeah, yeah, eighth grade, like so 13, 14, maybe. That was like eighth and ninth. 10th grade, that is like 14, 15 years old, was just like spiky. Actually, no, downward spike because we fought a lot. There were like, I think, medley adults who were involved in a very tragic separation, I might say. And then, we were like kind of becoming mortal enemies. Oh, after that was just, oh yeah, all our friends left school, remember? There was like a new batch of 11th and 12th graders. Very few people from the original class stayed back,
Yeah.
which was, I think, in a way, a lovely place for us to find ground with each other again. Because we didn't have this massive ecosystem that we were relying on as a proxy for the other person. And so we've like I think found ourselves, there, and which is kind of like a wave, which is
Same.
where you're kind of rediscovering yourself and whatever. And sort of like ebbing and flowing. Is she cool? Is she not? Okay, she's cool. Okay, but how cool? How far can I really go? And then you kind of go back. It was like that. Maybe after that was when we went to college, right? Like we separated physically. I went to law school, and law school was absolutely crazy for me.
Quiet couple of years. Yeah, I was in Japan. You were in India, and we were figuring out university lives, and yeah, spaces were different. So we didn't have a lot that was in common to really keep talking about.
Yeah. So I think those years flatline.
Just like the almost dead.
Dead. Uh, and then 2017, I remember I was in Delhi during like the famous Delhi smog. I'm in a balcony out of the blue without having spoken for maybe 2 years. I get a phone call from you. And then in that, I think we spoke for like 2 hours or 3 hours or something like that. And we just unpacked 10 something years worth of baggage and friendship and fights and all that stuff that we'd been through. Much in retrospect, much more mature, having seen a very little bit of life at that point. And then I think that was like a lovely resurrection. And then I think since then it's been really windy and breezy, and we found our pace with each other in terms of friendship. This though is a little bit of a new era, because we're doing a project again after years.
Sure, I want to
Uh,
say like the longest time because I feel like our projects were really early on and like in school and stuff. Like we organized cultural events and stuff and dances and everything, but that was very like school us, music us, and then we
yeah.
had adulthood happen and we forgot about all of that and somehow here we are. And so what does this phase look like to you?
It's like something's blooming. Oh, those little flowers I doodle, in the corners of my book sometimes?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it's like that. Because
Oh,
it's because
that's
it's like
sweet.
something new is growing, and we're creating something new. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the freaking graph. How is that a graph? I don't know what the graph is, but yeah.
Beautiful, Gary. I'm going to summarize for you. So it was like rainbow squiggles went to spikes. I went to like waves and spikes. There was ocean, there was air, there was like flowers. It's like what such a journey. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so earthy. Like our whole friendship is so like earthy wind and flowers and rain and yeah. Oh my God, that was a really good question. I have a question in similar terms, although as per usual, my answer structure has rules. So, use 3 words to describe yourself, and then 3 words to describe me. I think this is a nice way to introduce ourselves. Use only good words, otherwise I'm gonna kill you.
Crazy. Batshit crazy. Super crazy. No, is it like words that I use for you? Are they like how I see you or how you are in general?
How
Like
can
like
you tell? How can you say what I think I am? You say what you think I am.
because my words for you are very like our relationship type of words, you know. But I also have a different way of being so intelligent and smart, where I can actually say what you are for you, and then I can say what I think you are. There's two separate things. But which do you want? Take your pick.
No, yeah, yeah. Let's not make it too complicated. Say who you think you are, who you think I am. Done.
Just three words. Oh man. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm understanding. I feel like
Hmm.
I have friends from different spaces in life, from different cultural backgrounds, and I feel like I'm able to understand people no matter the age and where they come from. So, and I've grown up in a very dynamic family, and so I think I understand both sides. So there's the understanding aspect. The second word I'd use to describe myself is adventurous, because it started with a love for the hills and treks and going outside and seeing new places, and it's kind of evolved to all kinds of things. Rules don't mean too much to me. I'm really ready to jump across and do things that are unexpected. So adventurous. And then I think the last one would be dreamy, because I love the dream space. I have vivid dreams each night, and I'm all about that, like, yeah, the dream life, man, whatever that means, but I'm all about it. So yes, those are my three words. For you, I think
Mm.
one would be soulful. uh
Oh.
you have a lot of music in you and a lot of creativity and beauty, so I think soulful is one. Boldness. I always say this about you, but I think you're bold and fierce, and you have that fighter energy, like you'll go and get it. So bold. And then I think kind is a really nice one for you, because I think you're very thoughtful and kind about all your relationships. Like you have everyone in your life who you've met from when you were young to who you are now. Everyone is part of your world and your community, and I think that can only happen because you're actually freaking kind to everybody. So you
Oh, wow.
I don't have that, girl. I cut people off. Uh, so I see that you value like that wholesome experience of relationship. So that's kindness.
Oh my God, that's really sweet. Now, I feel like I asked the question and I was like, oh, she's going to say stupid, irritating. I don't know. But you were so nice. Now I don't know what to do. Okay, bye.
Well, now I have one for you. This
Mm-hmm.
is kind of a thoughtful kind of question, but the question, what is something you know for sure? Which means throw back to your childhood self, like the girl I knew who you were, like say 10, 11, 12 years old. What's
Mm-hmm.
something you knew then that you know now for sure? It could be about life, it could be about our friendship, about yourself. What's something that you know for sure?
Oh. About life, I don't think there's anything I knew back then that I'm pretty sure about now. I think everything changed. I was very much a stickler for structure. Now I know life can be fluid. About us, I think right away I knew that this was something, that it was important and it was a long lasting one. Like even in the years then that we weren't really in touch, you were always there in my head somewhere. I think you influenced my structure for friendships and relationships a lot. I don't even think in intentional ways. Structure how, as a best friend, as a this, as a dash sister, as a blank sister, and all. I didn't know. But but it's like medley, yes, a person in my life kind of thing. um I think for myself, I knew that, yeah, yeah. Like my mom used to say, okay, she always used to say, you're the kind of kid who, whether you have a boyfriend or not, whether you're in love or not, with an actual person, you will look out the window when it's raining and you'll sing a song to yourself and you'll feel so romantic and so dreamy. And so she always used to say, like, I'm this like happy person. Of course, life comes in the way and you kind of every now and then lose that happiness and lose that joy. But I've realized that it has to be my default of who I am. Um,
Happiness.
yeah, to be happy, like like I think a lot of people sometimes find comfort in sadness, or this whole thing of misery loves company. There's a pleasure in pain kind of thing. I have never found pleasure in pain. I've never been comfortable being unhappy. Like I think like almost desperately I need to be happy. I have to be happy. I don't know any other way.
Such like a crazy powerful thing for a mom to say, and also like things they tell you at a young age, like in a crazy way, like they last forever in your body, in your mind, in your in the way you move about the world. But to find comfort and happiness is yeah, that's crazy good. And I see that about your family, though. I see that you guys are a happy family,
Yeah.
and
It obviously doesn't come easy. Shit happens, the families go through ups and downs, and of course, so do you. But this thing of like, no, listen, we have to come back to that baseline. Life begins at happiness, it has to end at happiness kind of thing. Like that strife is always there.
so
Uh,
interesting. So what do you do like when you have a sad day or something awful happens to your day at work, let's say, and then at the end of the day you're going home? What are you gonna do in your day, in your life, in that moment, to go from awful sadness, annoyance to your comfort of happiness? What do you do?
Younger me used to fight it out and fix the situation. Right? If you misunderstood me, say in a job or something, no, Maitli, that's not who I am. That's not, that sort of thing. It was a very outward effort to fix life.
Justification, like,
Older, a more therapized version of me is like a lot of this outside world can't be controlled, right? It has to be within. So for me, the process is talking. I like to talk out my stuff with my husband, my friends, with my family,
yeah.
and then really just understand like where I am in all of this. This passing comment at work, why did it hurt me so much? You
Mm-hmm.
know, and then once I'm able to understand that, I'm able to let go. Now I know where it's coming from. It's okay. That sort of thing has to happen.
And I need understanding of the
Yeah.
situation, and it
I need answers.
and
That's
it
what it is.
even if those answers come from you, it's okay, but you need that time and space to process it. So you'll either talk to somebody or just
Talk to somebody. I
yeah.
am not the kind of person who will ruminate and solve it myself. I
Yeah.
don't even need to hear from you. I just need a sounding board. It sounds rude, but I just need to hear those words out loud.
I feel like for me it's funny, maybe because we have the same like background growing up. Like we must process information to kind of understand things. It's like a big like philosophy in my life too. But for me that could be like going on a run or writing. Writing used to be a big one. So I need to find like peace in like movement or physicality. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's such a strong marker of disposition. And I think that that's also why you and I are drawn to each other. It's because core values are kind of the same. We think of love, we think of happiness, we think of kindness. But then our path to it is dead opposite.
We're super different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also for me, it's more like I need to find calm and peace. But for you, I think it's so interesting that you use the word happy. Because, yeah, for me, I don't think about it that way. But for you to think about happiness and then to actually look around and look at your life and to notice that it's a happy thing is
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Actually, this is something I'm trying to figure out in now in these years to not when because happiness is elusive, it's rare, and when it comes, it's this burst, right? But I'm trying to understand that contentment is a very, very good alternative. You don't always have to be in this desperate search for happiness, but that contentment is sometimes an equally good, if not better, substitute. And then that happiness is like an outlier, but a fantastic outlier. And then your baseline comes back to content. But it's hard, because of the hard wiring, it's hard. But yeah, that's what the 30s are for. I have to ask, so much of our conversation now is like, the kind of messaging we're giving ourselves as we're like entering this older years of life. I wonder if you
Hmm.
could go back and say something to 11-year-old you, the sixth grader in you, what is something you'd say to her? Would you give her advice? Would you give her the secret to to the future? What did you give her? What did you say to her?
Wow. I've seen this like experiment done online, or like, I know this is a thing, but I haven't really thought about this for myself. But when I imagine it, like it's funny. I'm in school, I'm on a cloud looking down at us, and we're doing like our sunset walks. We used to walk and talk a lot, you guys, especially at sunset after games. It was a beautiful time. And
So you got like an aerial view basically of you're just watching two
yeah,
ants.
and so I'm looking at us, we're like 11 years old. I think the message I would have for me and for you is pretty similar. Like, what do you tell a 10-year-old, you know? But I think I'm gonna say something like, Maithili, there's higher mountains, bigger spaces out there. There's so much to look forward to. Really lean into the music. I think that was such a beautiful journey. And I feel like even though we did a lot of it, I think we could have even done more. So I want her to trust that. I want both of us to trust that more. Be nice to your friends. Kind of assure her that there's so much more out there in the world. So much to look forward to, more than you can imagine, more than you can dream of.
That's such a positive, happy note, you know?
I think I would have to hear that as like an 11-year-old to because for me my world was like the beauty of that valley we were in, and but then to imagine that there could be mountains that are taller is like such a huge like cool idea that you can't fathom if you haven't seen. So we hadn't seen much like actually with our eyes at that time in our lives. So to be like there's more out there. I know you read all the storybooks and all the Harry Potters and all this, but there's so much more.
Yeah. I think this is so you. Like, you have this ability to look so far beyond circumstance and dream so big. I think you're looking at years ahead. Always. You have like this wide sense of identity and life and fluidity. You're like, hey, do more of what you're doing. Be good. It's bigger. It's great. I think that's so you, you know?
I feel like it's also a feeling, like, I remember being that age and, like, just feeling, like, energetically, like, there's I don't know, it's like this big, like, dream space type of feeling, and, like, there's more, there's beauty, it's like yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but I know that I felt things that are hard to explain. Like sometimes you feel like this wind and I feel like there's so much going on in there in that like that one windy sunset, I felt so much one day and I can't explain it and it's coming from somewhere in this crazy universe and yeah, anyways, more hippie teachings from me later on.
It's funny you call it hippie teaching. I think this is exactly what's going to make this podcast interesting is that both of our brains work so differently. And the guests that we're going to have in the upcoming episodes will either align with one of our brains or will have a totally different third brain. And I think that will be fantastic to hear. That's what we're looking forward to. Can you tell our listeners what can they expect from the Dash Sisters podcast? Is it going to be just us talking about how wonderful we are?
Look, we've been talking about it for a while, and I think we want to value the lives that we already are in and the connections and friendships and the people who are alive in our lives right now. We have a community already, and we don't often take the time to really get to know who's in it and have conversations with people and hear about what's happening in their lives because I think it's nice to cherish what we already have. And I think we want to really build on that and get to know people in our long distance recording studio. And we do have a great lineup of guests, may I say. So stay tuned. And it's people it's people we know, and it's really from our world. And hopefully we will make that world a bigger space for everyone to be a part of. We're really excited, and I want it to be very human and at a humble, simple level. And yeah, Gary, what's your perspective? What do you think this is going to be, and what should people look forward to?
I think I would just say to people, we're coming to you. Whether that means we're coming to them for advice, whether it means we're coming to them with the voices that we have heard and the lessons we have learned. The whole point of this is to say great lessons come from people around us. That's why we talk to our friends. That's why we ask them for advice. It's because they have it. We know these great things within us, and our friends have lived such interesting lives, have made such unique decisions, unique choices, have taken risks that I would have never imagined, and are on the other end of so many different things, they're at the cusp of incredible things in their lives. And so, what a lovely thing it'll be to talk to our friends about all of that stuff. It is also a little bit about how do we have fun in this life. We have such a finite amount of time here and infinite possibilities. So I think that's what this podcast is going to be about. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you listen to it. And I hope you walk with us as we're also figuring out what this threshold in our life is like.
So much to look forward to. And I know 2026 is like right around the corner, and we're excited to hear from you and come be a part of this.
The plan is, at least, that this episode airs on the 1st of 2026. So Happy New Year, folks!
New Year, everybody.
We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful year, and we hope that we are a part of it some way on your commute, on the way to work when you're stuck in traffic in Bangalore. You know,
On your train to Tokyo, I hope for you and for all of us, it's going to be a year filled with happiness, love, and good things only. Well, as much as possible.
Maitli, did we just finish our first ever episode of the Dash Sisters podcast?
It's happened. We did it, Kari. It's like we really did. Oh my God.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be putting out an episode every Wednesday with a new guest, with a new conversation, and with new flavors of silliness and madness. So tune in.
See you soon.